My brother Knights, on behalf of the officers and directors of the Supreme Council, I want to thank you for all of your good work during the past fraternal year. Each of you has made an important contribution to our church and your communities, and together we have achieved new records of charitable giving, membership growth, and the protection of our Catholic families through our insurance program. Today we serve more people than ever before through our charitable programs, manned by more Brother Knights than ever before. Whether putting coats on kids in winter, or feeding the hungry, or providing disaster relief, or serving our parishes, or helping those with intellectual disabilities, we are on the front lines of charity worldwide. And today, more of our Catholic families than ever before sleep securely knowing that their financial futures are protected by our top-rated insurance products. No insurer in North America is more highly rated than the Knights of Columbus. And our program of insurance by Brother Knights, for Brother Knights and their families, just completed another record year with nearly $8.2 billion in new insurance issued, a testament to the hard work, concern, and integrity of our Brother Knights who serve as our insurance agents. And on the topic of integrity, I am pleased to announce that this year, the Knights of Columbus has been certified by Ethisphere as one of the world's most ethical companies, a testament to our Catholic values and our commitment to our Brother Knights. You have good reason to be proud of the accomplishments of our order in the past year, but we can do even more. And as you plan for even greater achievements during the coming fraternal year, I hope that your convention will also be a time for fraternal friendship and celebration. Our order was founded by the venerable servant of God, Father Michael McGivney, to provide charity and to be a source of unity among Catholic men. And it is our fraternal brotherhood that brings us together in service to our church, our Catholic families, and one another. It is this brotherhood that makes us especially helpful in service to those most in need and those on the margins of society. In his message for the World Day of Peace, Pope Francis wrote this: "Every activity, therefore, must be distinguished by an attitude of service to persons, especially those furthest away and less known. Service is the soul of that fraternity that builds up peace." On October 10th of last year, your Supreme Directors and I were privileged to be received by Pope Francis in a private audience in Rome. During that audience, Pope Francis expressed his gratitude to our order for our unfailing support of the Holy See and our daily prayers, sacrifices, and apostolic works by so many Brother Knights in their local councils, their parishes, and their communities. Then the Holy Father praised us for the virtues of quiet strength, integrity, and fidelity, which the Knights of Columbus are committed to preserving, cultivating, and passing on to future generations of Catholic men. Pope Francis also recommended our order to the intercession of St. Joseph, who he said is an exemplar without equal of quiet strength, integrity, and fidelity, and a true role model for all Catholic men. For years we have spoken of the need for a charity that evangelizes and the power of personal witness. Certainly our Holy Father, Pope Francis, has shown the world just how important such a witness is. He has captured the world's imagination precisely because his witness is so authentic. Father McGivney was just such a witness. He founded our order to assist those on the margins, to help widows and orphans, to be a lifeline for those immigrants who lived on the margins of society. Our Holy Father has called us to do the same. He calls us to reach out to the peripheries, to those in need spiritually or materially, and so our mission is clear. As an organization, we as Knights of Columbus must continue to stand shoulder to shoulder with our Holy Father in bringing the witness of charity to every corner of our society. In thousands of different ways, our councils offer the opportunity for nearly 2 million Catholic men to be persons of charity and missionaries after the example of Father McGivney and Pope Francis. And in doing this, we engage in what Pope John Paul II, who is being canonized this spring, called a charity that evangelizes. The Knights of Columbus is celebrating Pope John Paul's canonization. He was particularly close to our order, and we are now promoting his great legacy of new evangelization through our St. John Paul II National Shrine in Washington, D.C. This shrine will open a world-class exhibit on his life and legacy later this year. And if you visit Washington for whatever the reason, I invite you to stop by this wonderful shrine. Pray before John Paul's relic and deepen your commitment to furthering the new evangelization and the work of the Knights of Columbus. Many of our brother Knights would hardly think of themselves as missionaries or evangelists. Instead, most would say simply, with humility, we just see where a need exists in our parish or community, and we act to meet that need. And when we act to meet that need, we are personifying a charity that evangelizes. In this way, we are realizing a form of missionary discipleship, a discipleship that is central to the vocation of the laity to transform society according to the gospel. At this moment in the history of our church, the Knights of Columbus has an extraordinary opportunity to serve on the front line with Pope Francis in his witness of charity. St. Ignatius of Loyola once told a group of Jesuits that no commonplace achievement will satisfy the great obligations you have of excelling. The same can be said of today's Knights of Columbus. Motivated by love of God and neighbor, we must help those in need and those on the margins, whether they are widows and orphans, or the poor, the jobless, the elderly, or the unborn. All deserve our love, and thus all should receive our help in upholding their human dignity. For this to become a reality, we must look beyond what we've accomplished in the past, and we must extend the limits of what we do in service to our neighbors. We often think of our charitable service as reaching out to our neighbors, and rightly so, but there are spiritual benefits as well. A man who joins us doesn't just join a charitable group or gain the opportunity to protect the financial future of his family. He also gains the opportunity to grow as a Catholic man, a man of faith, living out his faith in service to his neighbor, and publicly embodying that faith through his charitable outreach with his brother Knights. It is crucial that every council work to recruit one new member per council per month. Doing this will help our order grow, and in growing, it will help us all do more good for those who need it. Let's also remember that when a man joins the Knights of Columbus and is given the opportunity to participate in our programs, it has a positive effect on him. And this is true for each new member who joins us. Our goal is to take good men, seeking to be better men, and give them the opportunity to become great men. As Pope Francis recently said, true brotherhood among people presupposes and demands a transcendent fatherhood. Based on the recognition of this fatherhood, each person becomes a neighbor who cares for others. This could well be a definition of the Knights of Columbus. Because of Father McGivney's inspiration, we have had for more than 130 years a tried and true model of fraternal brotherhood. Every Knight already belongs to an order that personifies one of the most fruitful expressions of fraternal community ever to exist in the history of the Catholic Church. Father McGivney and Pope Francis have both reminded us of the importance of answering Christ's call to be his disciples, and in doing so, to be known as disciples by the way we love one another. So let us go forward together into the next fraternal year, committed to being witnesses to the light of Christ's love in every corner of society. May Our Lady of Guadalupe and Father McGivney pray for us. Vivat Jesus!